Hello again, and welcome to episode 7. How did you go out with the last episode when we talked about the dreaming brain and empathy? And did you notice anything in particular that was significant for you? Did you try any of the sleep hygiene elements and find that it really was helpful? So today we've got another 2. We're looking at emotions and the way in which the brain absorbs information and presents it. So emotions are really indicators that let us know whether our needs are being met or not. So when we feel emotions that we classify as bad, even though the truth is all emotions are good in context, but those that we tend to classify as bad, very often what they're really doing is indicating that one of our essential needs is being compromised or breached one way or another. And so when you have the presence of mind to become aware of that, it's really helpful to think, okay, so what was going on and which of my needs did I feel was being jeopardized in one way or another? So then you can understand why the emotion is trying to get you either to stop it or to take steps to prevent it happening again in the future. So they're wonderful indicators to produce change and lead us towards thriving. In the same vein, for those emotions that we call good, bearing in mind that they're all good, then they give us an indication that our needs are being met. So if someone does something for you that makes you feel nurtured, valued, appreciated, then you were aware of the fact that that was a significant thing for you, and you would ideally hope to have more of it, only in a genuine way, not like, do that again, do that again, do that again, but rather that awareness. And similarly, if you're doing something for somebody else and you get the feeling from them that it's really appreciated and welcome, then you know you've helped them get one of their needs met as well. So they're marvelous indicators to show us about our needs and the adequacy within which they're being met, bearing in mind, as we talked about before, that all of the needs have to be met in balance, sort of in that range in the middle, and that any single need not met at all, we won't be able to thrive emotionally. And if needs are compromised, they're leading us in the direction of detrimental emotional well-being. The second thing is pattern matching, and this is really important in terms of learning how to connect with people and also paying attention to our own biases, for example. We tend to think something happens out there, I've decided it means so-and-so, and I react accordingly. But the truth is, what really happens as far as the brain is concerned is that something happens out there, it's absorbed through our senses, it's all electrical once it gets inside, and then the brain looks for the closest pattern match to that combination of electrical impulses. And if we've got a really big library of experience, then the pattern that it selects will probably be quite accurate. And then we respond accordingly and it fits. But sometimes we don't have a really good pattern match, and the brain will come up with the next best thing, which may be adequate, but it may be inappropriate. And so sometimes if you're having a difficulty with somebody communication-wise, if you get the chance to step back and think in terms of the possibility they're operating from a different pattern, and you could think of that as a different worldview or a different belief system or a different set of values. It doesn't really make a difference in this context, but it means that you're able to detach yourself enough to think in terms of maybe it's not they're against me, but rather they're seeing the world in a really different way, and I can't see the world the way they're seeing it. Maybe it would be good if we both tried to look at one another's patterns and start to get through that communication breakdown. When you think about pattern formation, the best example of it is with little kids, because before they're 6 years of age, the analytical, critical part of the brain isn't online. And so essentially they're in a semi-hypnotic state all the time. And they absorb information like sponges. They just take it all in without discrimination, without discernment. They just take it all on board. And every now and then you'll find that they say something or they respond in a certain way and it sounds just like you or your partner. If it's bad, your partner. If it's good, you. But the point is, they've absorbed the entire pattern as a holistic experience and stored it in their brain, and when they come across a similar thing, out it comes. And of course, by the same token, sometimes they bring out the wrong one, and it's usually very funny. And you can see where the confusion lies. But it's such a wonderful example of how that pattern matching process takes place. So that's it for today. Next time we've got one left, and I'll do a summary of the whole program, and I've also got a special offer for you, but you'll have to wait for that to next time. In the meantime, explore these two things. Explore how you might be pattern matching. You notice you respond a certain way to certain circumstances. Just see if you can step back a little bit using that observing mind and become aware of it, and also become aware of your emotions and how they're indicators for you of where your needs are met or not met or compromised or jeopardized, and get that feeling for them. And that will be tremendously helpful in terms of leading you towards thriving. So for now, take care, have fun. I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.